Oh hey, didn't see you there. I'm Hasan Piker, and this is Bro Tip. This week's Bro Tip is about bringing out the alpha male in you. I mean, come on, how many, there's gotta be moments in your life where even you've shown, naked pictures of a friend or something to another.
That's quite an accusation, Jank. There were drug dealings among the frat brothers, there was hazing, and there were these so-called creep shots where women had pictures taken of them, and then the guys would, make fun of the way they looked, talk about how fat they were, all of that.
And then, of course, they also put up nude pictures.
Yeah, so they put up nude pictures of various girls. I don't know if they were sleeping with the girls. I don't know if the girls just happened to send them the nude pictures. But in one of the posts, one of the frat brothers indicates that the girl took the picture when she was 17, which is why we're not going to show it to you. Now, with that said, we have our Bro Tip correspondent here, our fraternity correspondent, and he will weigh in on this issue.
He's an expert in the field.
Yeah, we don't do that at all, though, at my fraternity.
No, of course not.
Never.
No, never. Okay. All right. So I'm to assume that these guys were idiots for getting caught, but in reality, they represent 98% of what's happening on fraternities. Correct or incorrect?
Not just fraternities, but college in general. Come on, how many, there's gotta be moments in your life where even you've shown, naked pictures of a friend or something to another.
That's quite an accusation, Jank. How do you reply to that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm kidding. Look, back in the day, we didn't even have iPhones. Back when I was getting laid.
Well, yeah. Well, that's a totally normal thing, though. That happens.
That's a totally normal thing. No, but the thing is, I think Bro Tip is right. I'm very amused by calling him Bro Tip. I think it is very common, and especially with Snapchat, etc.
I mean, come on, how many, there's gotta be moments in your life where even you've shown, naked pictures of a friend or something to another. Naked pictures of a friend, naked pictures of a friend or something to another. A friend or something to another.
That's quite an accusation, Jank.
Well, that's a totally normal
Is this a Dan edit? What? I don't need that.
thing.
Must be.
Base?
Wow.
Yikes. That's all right. At least he's not shocking a dog.
Hassan's fall from grace will have to be studied for generations. Why he decided going on a China trip, so recently after a big drama that got him a lot of negative tension is beyond me.
I mean, he probably had this
fall any day now.
This was planned pretty far in advance, I imagine.
Was it?
Probably, yeah. It was definitely.
I felt like
it was definitely coordinated with the state, 1,000,000,000%. So I'm sure they must.
Sure,
have planned.
but you'd think that he would say ooh, this might be too much ill will towards me. I should probably reschedule, right?
I don't know. Would it be ill will towards him? He's so protected on Twitch. It's very frustrating. There's no chance that his platform there will ever be threatened because there's just no other left-leaning person that's large enough to do it. So he enjoys a lot of institutional monopoly power, I guess you would say. Jesus. And then the fact that
you're telling me you don't think Mike from PA can take over?
Yeah, true. Yeah, so I mean, if he doesn't have to worry about that, then the only thing he has to worry about is getting banned, which obviously that's never going to happen. And then Asmingold and him kind of try to stay out of each other's lanes so that they're not, I guess, having to fight too much. So it's easier for both of them. They're both self-interested to not fight each other. So yeah, cringe.
If you're Hassan, isn't there a worry that that all the bad publicity that you're getting, or all the kind of malattention you're getting, is end up going to hurting your viewer, and Assan cares about viewer count, that's going to hurt your viewers and whatnot, and you're going to end up if you end up in a bad position with the broader Twitch community or just broader internet in general?
I don't know. His viewership was probably pretty ideologically bought in at this point to the things that he's saying, so I don't know how much threat there is to him losing viewership over stuff like this. I'm just not sure.
Also, it's not affecting his viewership numbers, but it is affecting collabs, right? Because he's really pissed about the fucking.
Yeah, but that had to do more with
the events.
Terrorist shit more than anything else.
Yeah, but still, he's he was really pissed about that. I don't know if he'd be more so if he's doing China trips. I don't think that'd affect it.
I don't think China trips are going to impact any collabs. All these companies work with fucking China anyway, right?
Well, yeah, exactly.
True. I don't know. It just seems to me he had a broader image of he was a left streamer, right? Kind of opposite Asmingold. Even though obviously not if you actually pay attention to him. But that was the broader perception of him. But I think that by hurting his perception by shocking a dog and lying about it, and then doing pretty clear propaganda for China they get clowned on for, I think that I just wonder if that is going to end up hurting him in the long run.
Yeah, but who's clowning on him? It's just people who already disagree with him, right? Like, is anybody
No, I
new?
think that it was people who like weren't really aware. I think there's now people who weren't previously aware of like just how insane he was. He thought, just kind of didn't pay much attention to him. Who are like, oh my gosh, like what is he doing, right? Like, and like the new attention brought to him. I mean, maybe this is probably like what Dan would be hoping for, right? Is that like there's gonna be so much new hate brought to him. So we'll see. But I would worry about that as Hasan.
You're talking about like hurting like his growth, but his growth is already like really limited. So that's like the other factors that if you don't have that much room to grow, then you're not really affected when your growth is stunted.
Yeah, I mean, the question would be, was he growing before? How many like kind of normie viewers was he just picking up on a regular basis, and how many of those people will now be dissuaded from?
I think he's been pretty handicapped for a while in terms of being able to grow, because he's kind of locked to Twitch as a platform. And that's it. He can't doesn't seem like he's able to go anywhere else.
Sure, but like, do we think that his entire viewer base was like bought into all of his,
Probably most of them, yeah.
Marxist tanky stuff?
They have to.
At this point, I mean, after this guy's fucking virtue signal on Israel-Palestine for fucking 2 years, right? I feel like you're pretty bought in ideologically to his position at this point.
Well, maybe for Israel-Palestine stuff, where like there are like people who are like super, pro-Palestine, but aren't tanky, right?
Yeah, probably, yeah. But the crossover is probably
Hassan's
pretty...
a tanky.
Yeah, I feel like if you're a Hasan fan, you're probably like pretty close to being there full-time anyway, would be my guess.
It's probably a pretty casual fan of his that might be disfigured. But like if you lose those, right?
Yeah, but if you're a casual fan, in America, you don't even know anything about Mao or China or any of that bullshit. So like, how are you even going to talk to a normal person to make them realize like, hey, like simping for Mao is probably like really cringe. Like most Americans don't know anything about Mao or China or anything. So it was like, oh, I don't know. His trip just seemed like a cool, like he had fun. He went on a little, like a little trip where he got to see how cool China was basically, right?
I think that him like so clearly like contradicting himself and being like, oh, they wasn't censorship. They just had to like make sure it didn't have any like we weren't making fun of Mao, right? And like those clips that
that was bad. Like, I agree that was bad, but I don't think that Hasan didn't know that was going to happen. He got fucked on that. He really didn't think he was going to get fucked on that, especially because he has like a little fucking state-sponsored tour guide. So that was just, that wasn't planned. He didn't want that to happen. That was just yeah,
but then like why go on stream and talk about like
he has to defend it because he's shit on America. Yeah, him defending that action is like is the reason why people like him, and it's everybody now in fucking media, avoid debates, is because you've built up this caricature of a thing for so fucking long that if you actually directly confront the real thing, it's why you can never talk to me, right? If you directly confront the real thing, your fan base is going to see very quickly, like, wait a second, was this whole fucking shit a lie? And that's a really difficult position to be locked in. But that, unfortunately, that happened. They got a confrontation with like, oh wait, what is actually happening in China? So Hasan had to defend it. He's roped into defending it ideologically. There's no way he can't not defend it.
Sure.
Right? Because what's he going to say? Come and say, okay, well, actually, maybe China's policing is worse than the U.S. He can't do that. The U.S. is literally fucking, fascist state to Trump or to Hasan or whatever. And so, yeah,
Well, so why would he need to say that, like, make fun of, I feel like the make fun of Mao thing, why, I feel like he could have spun that in any other way that would have been better. He could have said, like, oh, we want to make sure, like, we aren't, like, terrorists or something, because
they weren't doing anything. They were literally just making fun of Mao. What are they going to do? How is he going to spin that? Bro.
It's a TSA security clearance, right? Like, who knows?
True.
On Asmingold, I'm interested. Okay. I rewatched the call that was leaked for the Mizkis stuff recently. And I was reminded that, like, Asmingold was, like, remarkably sharp on like what people's motivations were and what would need to happen like in that conversation and whatnot, and like I was like, wow, he's actually a smart individual, and like being able to see that like, well, this one thing might not mean one thing for the other thing. Do you think that like that would imply that like his current kind of just glazing of the administration is there's like bad faith, like he knows that what's happening is wrong or bad, but he's just riding the train? Or is there like something else going on with his cognitive process there?
No, I think he probably just largely agrees with it. No, what part of it would have to be bad faith?
Well, like when we're talking about tariffs and these, saying like, it's gonna be great, ignores like all the this is obviously gonna raise prices. How like even just the mechanics of that work?
I don't think he knows the mechanics. I think Asmingold appears smart because I've said this before. There are people. He's got like a good heuristic. He's got like a good way of like viewing the reality and doing like pattern recognition and all this bullshit. But in any area where he would have to learn actual discrete facts to understand a thing, if he has to do that, he's done because he's too lazy to do any homework or research or read, especially because he's got he's decently intelligent. So if anything is required of him to learn a thing, so like what do tariffs do? What are the impacts of tariffs? Like that would require him to actually read and study up a little bit on a thing. He's not going to do that. He's always going to be too lazy to do that.
Oh, so you're saying that, so then the reason why he would have been so on point with the Nizka stuff was because that just more of like an intuitive relation.
Yeah, it's just
or
like
like
people
just social
skills and
thing
shit.
of like,
Also,
here's what we need to,
directly.
yeah.
It was like his bag, right? It's literally affecting him personally, so obviously he's gonna take way more of it. He's gonna care way more if he's getting it right, versus just watching tweets of the illegals getting rounded up or whatever.
Well, any final thoughts or opinions?